We think it's best if you skip your father's 60th birthday celebration this year. We want a quiet, peaceful gathering with Emma and her family. You understand, right? My mother's text glowed on my phone screen, each word a fresh punch to the gut. I was sitting in my garden, enjoying my morning coffee, when the message arrived. My name is Olivia, and at 32, I'd just been uninvited from my own father's milestone birthday celebration. Not that I was surprised. This was just another chapter in my family's ongoing saga of choosing my perfect sister Emma over me. Of course, Mom. Have a wonderful celebration. I typed back, my fingers steady despite the storm brewing inside me. Within seconds, her reply appeared. Thank you for understanding, dear. You know how your father gets when there's tension, and Emma's kids should have a peaceful time with their grandfather. I set my phone down and looked around my carefully tended garden. The roses I planted last spring now in full bloom. Dad had taught me everything I knew about gardening. Every Sunday morning during my childhood, we'd work together in his garden, him teaching me about soil composition and pruning techniques while Emma slept in. But that was before Emma married Michael, a successful surgeon. Before she gave our parents the grandchildren they'd always wanted. Before I chose to become a travel photographer instead of following the safe career path they'd planned for me. My phone buzzed again. Don't worry, we'll FaceTime you during the cake cutting. Mom's attempt at consolation felt like salt in the wound. I didn't respond this time. Instead, I opened my laptop and pulled up the email I'd been saving. An invitation to photograph a luxury wellness retreat in Bali during the exact dates of Dad's birthday celebration. I'd initially declined, not wanting to miss his 60th, but now? My finger hovered over the accept button when another text came through, this time from Emma. Mom told me about Dad's birthday. It's really for the best, you know. The kids have been so excited about having quality time with Grandpa. Plus, you're always so busy with your photography anyway. That did it. I clicked accept and immediately began planning. What my family didn't know was that over the past 5 years, while they'd been dismissing my career as a hobby, I'd built a significant following on social media. My travel photography had earned me partnerships with luxury resorts worldwide, and my Instagram account had just hit 500,000 followers. I'd never told them about my success. They'd never asked. To them, I was just their difficult daughter who refused to settle down and get a real job like Emma. The next few weeks passed in a blur of preparation. I booked my flights, arranged my equipment, and carefully planned my content strategy for the retreat. Meanwhile, my phone kept buzzing with updates about Dad's birthday plans. We're getting his favorite chocolate cake from Anderson's Bakery, Mom texted. The same bakery where I'd worked my first job, learning to decorate cakes under Mr. Anderson's patient guidance. Dad used to brag to customers about my creations. Emma's kids are preparing a special dance performance. Another text announced. I remembered my own dance recitals, how Dad would sit in the front row, beaming with pride. Now he'd beam at his grandchildren instead, while I was halfway across the world. The day before my flight, I visited Dad's favorite nursery and arranged for a rare orchid variety he'd been trying to grow for years to be delivered to his house, in 3 months. The card would read, "Some beauty takes time to bloom. Happy 60th, Dad. Love, Olivia." The morning of my flight to Bali, as my family was probably setting up for Dad's peaceful celebration, I posted my first Instagram story. A photo of my passport and first-class ticket, with the caption, "Off to paradise. Can't wait to share this journey with you all." #luxury travel, #Balabound. I turned off my notifications, knowing my mother's reaction would come soon enough. As the plane took off, I felt a strange mix of sadness and liberation. They'd wanted peace. Well, they were about to get it, along with a front row seat to the life they'd never bothered to understand. Little did they know, this was just the beginning. The peaceful celebration they'd chosen over me was about to become a masterclass in what they'd been missing all along. As my plane soared over the Pacific, I smiled, thinking about the series of perfectly curated posts I had planned. Sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation. It's living your best life while they watch from the sidelines. The first week in Bali was a photographer's dream. The luxury wellness retreat was nestled in the hills of Ubud, surrounded by emerald rice terraces and ancient temples. Each morning, I woke up in my private villa with its infinity pool overlooking the jungle, carefully documenting every perfect moment. My Instagram feed transformed into a stunning showcase of sunrise yoga sessions, traditional cooking classes, and spa treatments in treehouse pavilions. Each post was meticulously crafted to tell a story of success, peace, and self-discovery. Everything my family thought I was incapable of achieving. Living my best life at Luxury Bali Retreat. Sometimes peace finds you when you're brave enough to choose yourself. #luxury travel, #find your peace. I captioned a photo of myself in a flowing white dress, standing beneath a cascade of purple orchids. The post exploded. 50,000 likes in an hour. Hundreds of comments praising the composition, the lighting, the message. And buried among them, I spotted one from Emma. "Mom's upset. Call her." I didn't. Instead, I posted more. A video of my private cooking class with a renowned Balinese chef, learning to make the same dishes Dad had always wanted to try but never dared to. Learning secrets passed down through generations. Some traditions are worth traveling the world for. #cheflife, #culinary journey. The retreat's social media manager informed me that my content was driving unprecedented engagement. They offered to extend my stay by another 2 weeks with additional compensation. I accepted immediately. Then came the text from Mom. "Olivia, your father's birthday was lovely, but he kept checking his phone to see if you called. Why are you being so selfish?" I took a deep breath and opened my camera app. That evening, I uploaded a video of myself participating in a traditional Balinese blessing ceremony. The temple keeper draped me in white and gold silk, pressing flowers into my hair while explaining the ritual's meaning. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes the greatest peace comes from releasing expectations that were never yours to carry. Thank you at Luxury Bali Retreat for this profound experience. #inner peace, #healing. Emma called first. "You're being dramatic," she said when I finally answered. "Mom and Dad are hurt. They just wanted a quiet celebration. And they got one." I replied calmly, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of pink and gold from my private terrace. "They got exactly what they asked for. But did you have to go to Bali? Did you have to post all these perfect pictures?" I could hear the edge in her voice. For the first time, my sister sounded jealous of me. "I'm just doing my job, Emma. The job none of you ever bothered to ask about." "Job? Taking pretty pictures for Instagram isn't a..." I cut her off. "My latest brand collaboration earned more than Michael makes in 3 months as a surgeon." "But you never asked, did you?" "None of you did. You were too busy planning peaceful family gatherings without me." The silence on the other end was satisfying. "The retreat wants to extend my stay," I continued. "Apparently, my content is doing wonders for their bookings. Oh, and National Geographic called. They want to feature my work in their travel series." National Geographic," Emma stammered. "Yes. Turns out my little hobby is worth something after all. Send Mom and Dad my love. I have a sunset meditation session to photograph." I hung up and posted another story, me in a private infinity pool, surrounded by floating lotus flowers, the caption reading, "Finding peace in paradise that evening." As I reviewed my shots from the day, my phone lit up with a text from Dad, the first direct message he'd sent since this all began. "The house feels empty without your energy in it. Those orchids in your pictures, they remind me of the ones we used to grow together." I smiled, thinking of the rare orchid scheduled to arrive at his door in 2 months. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and sometimes the best response to being excluded is to create something so beautiful they can't look away. The retreat staff had arranged a special dinner for me, a private table in a bamboo treehouse overlooking the twinkling lights of Ubud. As I sat there, sampling dishes that would make Dad's eyes light up, I realized that this peaceful exile had given me something unexpected. The confidence to finally stop seeking their approval. I picked up my phone and posted one last photo for the day, a single orchid, catching the last rays of sunlight. The caption read, "Some people spend their lives seeking peace in silence. Others find it in the courage to bloom anyway." #FinGirampath. My notification count skyrocketed, but for once I didn't check if any were from my family. Their peace had led me to find my home, and it was more beautiful than they could have imagined. 3 months passed like a dream. The 2-week extension at the Bali retreat turned into a series of luxury resort collaborations across Southeast Asia. Each destination brought new opportunities, and my Instagram following doubled. I was no longer just taking pretty pictures, I was building an empire. Then came the morning I'd been waiting for. My phone buzzed with a text from Dad. An orchid arrived today, the exact variety I've tried to grow for years. The card says it's from you. I was sitting in my suite in Singapore, reviewing contracts for my upcoming photography book when his message arrived. I smiled, imagining his face when he saw it. Did you like it? I texted back. It's perfect. But Olivia, why didn't you tell us about any of this? Before I could respond, Mom called. For the first time in months, I answered. The house is filled with photos of your travels, she said, her voice small. Your father printed them from your Instagram. He's been following your journey all along, learning how to use social media just to see what you're doing. I held my breath, waiting. The orchid, he cried when it arrived. Said it reminded him of all the Sundays you spent gardening together. She paused. We've made a terrible mistake, haven't we? You wanted peace, I replied softly. I gave you that. No, she countered. We wanted control disguised as peace. And in the process, we missed seeing the amazing person you've become. Just then, my email pinged, another collaboration offer, this time from a luxury travel magazine. They wanted me to curate their annual Peace and Luxury issue. The irony wasn't lost on me. National Geographic is featuring my work next month, I told her. And I'm publishing a book of my photographs. I would have told you sooner, but you never seemed interested. The silence on her end spoke volumes. We're having a family dinner this Sunday, she finally said. Please come home. No peaceful celebrations or exclusive gatherings. Just us, trying to do better. I looked at my calendar, at the scheduled flights and shoots and meetings that filled every day. Success had brought its own kind of peace, but something was still missing. I'll be there, I said. But on one condition. I'm bringing my camera, and you all have to let me tell our story my way. That Sunday, I walked into my parents' house for the first time in months. The walls were covered with my photos. Sunrises in Bali, temples in Thailand, city lights in Singapore. Dad had arranged them chronologically, creating a timeline of my journey. Emma was there with her family, looking slightly uncomfortable. Her kids ran to hug me, asking excitedly about my adventures. Michael, surprisingly, wanted to know about my photography techniques. Your work is incredible, he admitted. I've been following your Instagram since that first ballad post. The kids keep asking when they can visit Aunt Olivia in all these amazing places. Dad pulled me into his garden, where the orchid I'd sent was blooming beautifully. I watch your videos every morning with my coffee, he confessed. You've seen more of the world than I ever dared to dream of, and the way you capture it, you make peace look beautiful. I took out my camera, not for Instagram or work, but for us. I photographed Dad with his orchid, Mom preparing dinner, Emma teaching her kids about my travel photographs. For the first time, I was documenting our family's story with the same care I gave to luxury resorts and foreign landscapes. Over dinner, they asked real questions about my work, my travels, my life. Emma admitted she'd been jealous of my freedom, trapped in the perfect life she thought she was supposed to want. Mom showed me the folder of my press features she'd been collecting. We're so proud of you, she said, tears in her eyes. I'm sorry we needed you to go halfway around the world for us to see it. Later that evening, I posted one last photo. My family gathered in Dad's garden, the orchid blooming between us, everyone laughing at some forgotten joke. The caption read, sometimes you have to travel the world to find your way home. And sometimes peace isn't about silence, it's about finally being heard. #family reunion #full circle. The post went viral, but for once, I didn't care about the likes or comments. I had found something better than social media success. I had found my way back to my family on my own terms. As I drove home that night, my camera full of family photos and my heart fuller than it had been in months, I realized that the peace my parents had wanted wasn't what any of us needed. Real peace came from acceptance, from understanding, from letting each person bloom in their own way. My phone buzzed with a group text from Dad. Same time next Sunday. Bring your camera. We have years of stories to capture. I smiled. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's showing them exactly what they almost lost and then giving them a chance to do better. The orchid continued to bloom in Dad's garden, a beautiful reminder that some things are worth waiting for.